Kanam khoang la da khenin sen lai nau bang la ka sai o kanam vaiphei ka hun ngai na na mai zen la van choi den la ka hun sawe lung gol takin ka hun sawe ki pum khat na la kan to na la so na la vul zing yan no bag zing yan kanam vaiphei hiam let thal ta samin ilaki the zat no tu hin im ong khom ki dao ki hen Choi den la ka hun sawe lung gol takin ka hun sawe ki pum khat na la kan to na la ma so na la vul zing yan no bang zing yan kanam vaiphei Kanam mei sel de zing in kanam puan lap hai ka zing ka oh kanam vaiphei ka hun ngai na na mai zen la van choi den la ka hun sawe lung gol takin ka hun sawe ki pum khat na la kan to na la so na la vul zing yan no bag zing yan kanam vaiphei
Yes, Kirana.
Not just the birthdays of that. So going forth is basically based on because all others are either just a red or red or something. But the quantum, which is the other one, is a bit similar with, for example, the Paites or the Mars. In the Paites, almost similar. Yeah, almost.
Kinko is the best one.
He used to be the editor of Vaiphei newspaper. So to now they have entrusted it to somebody.
He never told me that.
Awit kubeng chit dingin ikinit saku ahi. Now we'll have flag hoisting by our chief guest, who is none other than Dr. Lorho as Pfoze, Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, Outer Manipur. On the 27th February 2013, at Vaiphei Community Center Hall, Bethel area, Lamka, Churachandpur.
Second session, Assembly Speaker invites K. Shima to lead condolence service, Minute Khathun Manhitin, Secretary.
Elung Seda Ahe Pina Mak Takmaya Kamau E Puitu Kapathin Tunihin Keu Vaiphei Sungadinga Young Vaiphei Association General Assembly Kam Awllen Festival Sang Nile Som Nile Thum Ka program dingo Mulo in gongal kala gongal wa Ahun takan nang malay puitong ta Abul kahun pato ake pata alaya ato tsana Ze Awllen program kamat na teo hohi Nang malopi na auhi a Latsa te ding hin Taksa le thagaw kisuklim na Hon poy mo takmay kamatua Kaphat chom pi theng na dingun le kalim pi theo kamason thenge da dingun ka program te hoi nangman e het pia e mal zol dingin kipak thugen kom lalo pi na ding zokin kalal ze sum leking kadano he amen.
Welcome and praise any beginning to Kai Hon'ble, Chairman, Awllen Organizing Committee.
Zihulahin presentation to Chief Guest Eman Mangsobang Itahi.
Awllen Jibai. We welcome our Honorable MP Dr. Lorho S. Pfoze, Members of Parliament Lok Sabha. Chun Ajaum Vaiphei IAS Additional Chief Secretary Manipur Government Chun Nu Lapa Tam Tak Hung Tai Khomte Le Ex-President VPC Ex-President OIV General Headquarter Chun Nungak Tangwal Hung Tai Khomte Zau Si Welcome Hon'ble Hi
I would like to read out the memento. Young Vaiphei Association General Assembly Awllen Festival 2023. Team Mohan Tolkam Tomin by Yomomidiu. Memento. This memento is profoundly enshrined history. Dr. Lorho S. Pfoze, Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha Outer Manipur, Chief Guest on occasion of the 5th Awllen Festival, inaugural function held at Vaiphei Community Center, Bethel area, Lamka, Churachandpur, Manipur, on the 27th February in the year of the Lord's favor 2023. May this memento bear the testimony of all our profound appreciation, endless epaulets and well wishes for a bright and blissful future. With all endeavors from Awllen Festival Organizing Committee, Kai Hon'ble Chairman, S. Malso Vice Chairman, and Zamni Vaiphei Secretary. Now I request our Chief Guest, Honorable MP, come on the dais. We begin upon Binawin with you. Thank you so much. Tuhin Bu Vaiphei IAS Awllen to Italang inang pun doyong tak Vaiphei kitwahi samping len pauna.
Ipapuma to Kai Hon'ble, Mapanane Vaiphei Presentation of memorandum. Secretary Vaiphei General Headquarters.
Young Vaiphei Association General Headquarters, to Sri Lorho as Pfoze, Honorable Member of Parliament, Outer Manipur Parliamentary Constituency, Imphal, Manipur. Subject: representation on behalf of the Vaiphei youths for construction of Vaiphei Hall. Honorable Sir, we, the undersigned, on behalf of the Young Vaiphei Association General Headquarters, would like to take the liberty of putting forward our humble representation on this auspicious occasion of Awllen Festival 2023 and the annual assembly of our association, which you have graced with your august presence as chief guest. Honorable Sir, as you might have been aware, the Vaiphei tribe is one of the 33 complex tribes in the state of Manipur, and also one of the major tribes. It is the fourth largest tribe in terms of population in the district of Churachandpur, spread across all the 6 assembly segments. Further, it may be appropriate to point out that the Vaiphei tribe is the second largest block within the Churachandpur assembly segment. With such a large presence, it has been the aim of the association since its establishment in the 80s to be a whole in public location for social support, group activities, and even public information services. And to this end, several initiatives have been taken up in the past with concerned legislators and other elected members. However, the demands were neglected and all the efforts taken went in vain. As a result, the association is facing a lot of inconvenience. Honorable Sir, we come to you with the fervent hope that our humble representation merits your attention and that you will consider our case positively and to do the needful at the earliest and to bring the fruition our long and fulfilled dream of community home. We shall remain indebted to you for your magnanimity in facilitating the accomplishment of this dream. Most sincerely yours, Lorho Vaiphei General Secretary, Examining President. To his Secretary Pan, ito na ang kailangan memorandum.
Program Lamka in Hon'ble in England nam tuni program is hoi meeting is union hoi meeting in Vaiphei tamol unit ke hunadi bakchil hin
First of all, I thank God for giving us a good day, a sunny day, to participate in this festival. This festival, as we all know, is Awllen, which is being organized in between the end of cutting trees for Juming cultivation and before just burning the Jum fields. There is often this Awllen festival. This year also, Awllen Festival 2023 is being organized by the Vaiphei General Headquarters. And we are very proud to be with Honorable MP, Lok Sabha Manipur Outer. And we hope that our chief guests enjoy this festival. As the chief guests and Pupi Vaiphei are having a very limited time, I should not say other words. May this festival, may this program bring good, better relationship with the chief guests and the Vaiphei community. Long live Awllen and long live Lorho. Thank you.
About introduction of guests, again to Vaiphei, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, and again, Chief Lagi.
Among design party, hallelujah chorus, a something digin, tampar, sinner kwerde, digin sa digin, yasakna, newahi.
Tuni hung ki khomzo se Awllen chibai. On behalf of the Young Vaiphei Association and the organizing committee of the Awllen Festival 2023, it is my proud privilege to introduce the Honorable Chief Guest of the inaugural day of Awllen Festival 2023, Dr. Lorho Pfoze, Honorable Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha, from the Outer Manipur Parliamentary Constituency, who is not at all new to the people of Churachandpur, who have had very close connect with the people of Churachandpur. In fact, it gives me a lot of pride to say that in the last parliamentary election, Churachandpur have had a very modern outlook in terms of choosing its candidate, and therefore the Honorable MP being the embodiment of that outcome of the voice of the people, I take it as my personal privilege to welcome him here in our midst this morning. I will take my time in two small parts. One, introducing the guest, and secondly, introducing the festival to the guest. Lorho is from our Mau community. He represents the northernmost tribes while we represent the southernmost tribe. And it is a very, very good time coming together here in this platform provided by the Young Vaiphei Association through the Festival of Awllen. He again is a person who has been very proactive despite the many challenges he has faced, and despite the fact that this is his first tenure in the parliament. I am aware of many of the proactive steps he has taken up, and given a better environment, the outcome of his initiatives would have been much more visible. I, on behalf of all of you, extend our best wishes to him so that he can contribute his might, because he has a lot of promise in the parliament, and I feel that he is somebody who can continue to represent the aspirations of the tribal people of Manipur in the august hall of the parliament of this country. So we wish him well. As for the festival, the Vaiphei communities have primarily two cultural festivals. One is Thazing Lab, that is performed in the month of September. normally on 27th of September, which as per our forefathers who have claimed that on this particular day it never rains, it is always good climate. And some of the modern people who have been keeping a watch on this, they say that it's very interesting on 27th of September, whenever Thajinglap has been organized, it has never been disturbed because of rains. This is one of the festivals, and we take a lot of pride in that, primarily because in one of the places where we do it historically, that is in Sarampatong, Kulbung Veng in Sadar Hills district, the remains of the stones erected by our forefathers are still there, along with historical records of the hills being donated by and the privilege granted by the Maharaja of Manipur around the year 1830. We still have historical documents about it, both in terms of physical presence at the site as well as in terms of historical paper documents. So we take a lot of pride in that, and that is primarily significant because the forefathers indulge in that type of merrymaking primarily because, one, they have already fought the many head hunting wars. They have become so confident that they have started planting various type of vegetations, harvested them, and out of the plenty produces which they could gather, they started making merry. And to our accounts, we were informed that for months together our forefathers were drunk in merrymaking. So 200 years ago, in the tribal context of the hills of Manipur, if you can be making merry for months together, it means that you are strong enough, you are confident enough, and you are stable enough, you are already well established. That is what the first festival indicates. The second festival, which is Awllen, which we are celebrating today, is reflective of the post-harvest cultural festival. After the harvest, the Vaiphei people were so happy, and the only way they could celebrate their happiness was to come together and to indulge in all sorts of cultural activities, wearing their best traditional dresses and performing the various cultural dances which our forefathers have been able to develop over the centuries. To my knowledge, Awllen in the recent times have been celebrated about 20 plus years. I have taken part in one of the earliest Awllen celebration in Imphal some 22 years back, and since then Awllen in particular has been organized under the aegis of the Young Vaiphei Association. Now that takes me to my third introduction, which is the Young Vaiphei Association. The Young Vaiphei Association is the most philanthropic organization within the Vaiphei communities. All volunteers within the community, including dear friends from other communities, are members of the Young Vaiphei Association. There is no hard and fast rule. Everybody contributes as per their own commitment to the cause. And the causes are attending to people who are in need, looking after people who are undergoing treatment, or helping people who are having diseased or people who die in their family. The role of the YVA had come very, very prominently in the last few years, particularly after the COVID pandemic and the national lockdown. The YBA has been able to transport quite a number of people from Delhi to Imphal or even to the villages. YBA has been helping out many bereaved families in burying their deads honorably. And this is something which stands out even in modern times. The beauty of the YVA is that it has no class or category of its members. Whoever wants to contribute are its members. Whoever is being asked to help and whoever is willing to help are always the members. And that is the reason why it will go long in the future, because as long as the community is there, there will be needs and requirements. And to attend to that, the Vaiphei will be there. Sir, finally, one small word. We were handed over a memorandum. I have been given a copy. The color original copy has been handed over to you. The black and white copy has been given to me. I would sincerely seek your indulgence on this. Just to supplement personally from my side, I would only request your indulgence to the extent possible. Give us a helping hand so that the Vaiphei and the Vaiphei community can start. Thereafter, we will learn how to walk on our own and how to stand on our own. With these few words, may I take the privilege to welcome on stage Dr. Lorho Pfoze, Honorable Member of Parliament, Outer Manipur Parliamentary Constituency, Lok Sabha, to the stage. Dr. Lorho Pfoze, Honorable MP, Lok Sabha, Manipur Outer Parliamentary Constituency, stage in ka welcome ngale ka ki pake. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Vaiphei. I just got to know his first name, Palun Thang, and so I'm privileged to stand before the leaders of the Vaiphei community in this August celebration, the festival organized by Young Vaiphei Association. I'm privileged that in the presence of the YPC President, Mr. Hon'ble, I hope I'm getting the name correct, and his team. And then also the coordinating or organizing committee chairman and the group that has made this festival possible today, the YVA, and then also the various Zirlal Paul, and then various other leaders and organizations of this place. Also, I acknowledge the presence of our pastor here in our midst. I'm really privileged that I'm able to stand before each one of you. When Mr. Vaiphei was introducing me, I suddenly remembered that I had known his father. I also call him as Mr. Vaiphei. He was the Accountant General of Manipur during a time when I was slightly younger, and I had associated with that office, because of old friends. And so I'm happy that I'm meeting the second generation of that Mr. Vaiphei. So he is also one of our topmost officials in the state of Manipur, a very young, let me call him young, dynamic. When he was young, he was very young and dynamic, and I had known him as a very sincere officer, standing out for the cause of the people. And I think in the course of his administration, I've known him to have gained more and more popularity, particularly even among politicians, because of his articulation and understanding of the issues and the way that he has dispensed things. My first association with the Vaiphei people dates back to the maybe late 60s and 70s. I had one teacher. We call him just Oja Vaiphei. I do not know his first name, but I knew him as Oja Vaiphei, so I thought Vaiphei was his first name, but now only I come to know that it is the name of a tribe. However, Oja Vaiphei was such a good teacher. He taught me commercial geography and also in geography, and that's how I scored one of the highest marks in geography during our school days. Then later on, when I started on being a little more active in church, I came and met with Reverend S. Prim Vaiphei. I think all of you know. He is with GFA today, and I think maybe he has changed over. But however, his being there in the church, he also touched my heart. In fact, I should say he pierced my heart. When you tell me that the Vaiphei people were also headhunters those days, I used to think it was only the Nagas who were headhunters, but you're also headhunters, so I have to hide, okay? So anyway, this Mr. Reverend Prim Vaiphei, he pierced my heart. I think he stole my heart, especially because of the way he was so passionate about global evangelization, the way he has interacted and gone out to various communities that were yet unevangelized in our communities, in our state. And so, that touched my heart, and I knew that there is a lot of things for me to learn even from him. I want to introduce myself as none other than being a follower of Christ. I'm also a Christian, and I'm a passionate Christian, wanting to do whatever is possible. When I decided to go into politics, many of my church friends would say, it is not good for a person like you to go into politics. It doesn't suit you. Why don't you continue pursuing with the ministries? So I said, when we look at politics of our day today around us, we see that many people brand politics as dirty, as something that we must not really mix around with. They're corrupt, and they are, people who are immoral or anything like that. If politics doesn't come out of the church, if politicians are not built from within the church community, how can we expect good and proper administration? How can we expect justice to be delivered by people? How can we expect our leaders to build a good, healthy nation? And so that is why I'm convinced that politics must come out of the church. However, to be careful, politics must not get into the church. Outside influence of politics should not spoil the environment of the church. We must be a healthy, strong people, and we must build politicians so that they will go out into the world as leaders or as evangelists or as people who will evangelize. I think that has been my conviction, and that is how I am here in our midst today. Well, my association with the people has been, I should say, very limited outside of the church communities before I became a politician. I used to associate with the church leaders in very many occasions. I used to be interpreting. No originality, but I just translate what people say. So that is how I've been associated with the church. And by God's grace, that exposed me to a large audience, particularly the church people. And that is how I decided that I must continue to represent the church in whatever possible way, wherever I am, be it in the parliament, be it in the rest of India, be it in any society or groups. I've tried within my short stint of political life to be able to do justice. One of the things that actually drove me to go towards politics is when I look at the various societies, communities within our own state of Manipur, we are so divided. Cookies will not like to have anything to do with the Zomis, maybe, I don't know, or Zomis and Cookies would not like to have anything to do with the Nagas, I don't know. Nagas would not like to have anything to do with the Meiteis. Meiteis and Pangans would not like to associate with each other. We do not like to associate and become one as a people. This divide, the gap, the breach, the gap that has come between us has become so huge. The chasm has become big. We need someone to come in and build bridges. And that is, I took it upon myself that when I go into politics, if ever I get elected, my first task will be to build bridges. And since I got elected in 2019, I've been trying my best in whatever possible way, to go to places where I dare not go, to meet people who I hesitated to meet, to relate with people whom I refuse to build up any trust and confidence. Unless we meet and get to know each other, how can we love? Unless we love, how can we relate to each other? Unless we relate to each other, how can we help each other? How can you know each other's need? These are few human relationships that needs to be developed over time. And politics has a lot to do. We leave it only to the church. During the Kuki-Naga conflict, we expected only the church to come and do something. Political leaders will sit behind, maybe instigating in some ways, I do not know. But I think today it is different. Unless we come out to break all those strongholds or all those, ice, break them and then try to see whether or not we can build bridges. During my short course of time, I have found that that is possible. I've built up very good relationship with the Kuki community. I used to hesitate coming to Churachandpur, not because of Paites or Vaiphei, but we think that we brand all of you as, in our dialect, as we call Kosame. Kosame means those of you who belong to the Kuki Mizo Chin group, we call them as Kosame. We have, sorry, I have a bad cough, I may cough at some time. So because of that, we used to think that all of you may not be as friendly. But as I come to know each one of you, in the heart of heart, we are all the same. You have potential to love. You have potential to build. You have potential to connect. You have the eagerness to help. But when I refuse to give you opportunity, I will continue to feel strange. We will continue to remain divided. I think it is a good opportunity for us here today. Therefore, even as a politician, I would like to preach the love of God. The love of God, if it does not capture each one of our hearts, we cannot go out into the world and say, let us live together in peace. We cannot help one another. I cannot be a good politician if I do not have the love of Christ in me. So, dear friends, as a Christian community, the Vaiphei people have been very vibrant Christians as well, as I've mentioned about Reverend Prince Vaiphei. I do not know how you see him as a church leader, but I saw him when he was a Baptist. He was in the Baptist Association, the convention. He was one of our leaders, and he had been a very good leader. And he has been one of my mentors. And so I want to tell you that we have to be Christians ourselves. Now, coming back to politics, in our state today, there is so much of inequality, particularly between the developed people group, the valley dwellers, and the so-called tribals who are less fortunate. We do not have all the opportunities that the valley people get, and so we are less fortunate, and we call ourselves tribal people, or rather the lesser privileged people. I think time has come. Now, there is no barriers between us to receive whatever is being made available, the opportunities that are there offered by our governments back there in central India, by the government of India. We have big and wonderful dynamic leaders, even in India. Narendra Modi, our Honorable Prime Minister, has been one of those leaders who have led the path. We can see a lot of good things that is coming out of him. The enthusiasm, the dynamism in him has broken walls, and that he has, changed even the course of development. From look east to it has become act east. And it is not only acting. Now today, that government, that people are also coming into our northeast region, and they are becoming very much part of the development process, providing peace and goodness to our people. Very soon we hope that the national highways that have been built to connect with us, with the rest of the world, will be through even to, already through up to Burma, More, but it will go on further towards Myanmar. And there are other roads that are being built even through our Churachandpur district, going towards Tipaimuk is another one, and another is through the Guite road. It will go on to connect with Mizoram. And so the road networks are becoming much, much better. And from this side, from Churachandpur side, it is going even towards Chandel and Tengnopal and other things. It will go and connect with the rest of the hill districts. These are some of the projects that are being taken up by this very government, and I have also taken quite a few initiatives trying to build up circular roads along the international borders. And so once these international borders are being connected, the vigil by the government to be able to cross-check drugs or arms infiltration, or maybe even immigration or things like that, illegal migrations. Today Manipur is very concerned about those, so I'm just mentioning. So only when roads are being built, we can connect better. We can identify unwanted elements coming into our area, and then we will be able to start connecting with the people on the other side, and cross-border trade also will increase. Economies will build up, and our people will develop by and by. So I've also been working on so that we will have some of the ICPs, integrated checkposts, or land custom stations that are built along our international borders. I've proposed at least 5, one in Churachandpur, one in Chandel, and then Chandel towards Molcham is one which they've been saying, but New Somtal is a new location that has been identified. New Somtal, then towards Kamjong, then Ukhrul side 1. And so I think if these type of proposals are being taken up, I've recently spoken to the Commerce Minister, and then also to the Home Ministry, and including the External Affairs Ministry. They are coordinating amongst themselves, and hopefully in the coming few months, we will have more than More alone to be established along our borders. A lot of trades will come in. I think Churachandpur has been very dynamic in taking up products coming from outside of the region to be importing and then to export to rest of India. I think Churachandpur will become a booming district. The people around here will definitely boom. When I look at all of you, I cannot classify who is rich, who is poor. All of you look very rich. Your faces are very radiant, and you are very attractive people. Yeah, I really enjoy the rhythm of the people of Churachandpur, your dances, your songs, the way you sing, and the way you actually praise God, even in singing in churches. And here was one of those Hallelujah chorus which was to be sung. I don't know, I was actually looking forward, but maybe it will come at another time. It is good to be one with the Lord. We have a lot of things to achieve. I've been trying to do a lot more things, but especially between the community divides, between the Métis and the tribal people also, there has been a lot of misunderstanding. Because of the district council issues, I think a lot of misunderstandings have been there. We, the tribals, have been deprived for too long. I have taken the councillors, the leaders of the district councils, to meet up with the leaders of the center, and also trying to see if they will understand, and then they will put pressure on the state government to pass certain laws, certain rules, so that it will empower the people in the grassroots level. The local, the dissemination, or sharing of powers at the district level, empowering the village level or the district level leaders is so important. Unless there is financial powers given, unless there is development powers given. And for so long as we continue to depend only on Imphal, we know how discriminations has been through. Those of our leaders who are with the government will very well understand how difficult it is for them to do things that will, by way of trying to help our people. It is so difficult. Though there is a desire, that alone doesn't work. It needs much more. The system needs to be corrected. And for that, I've been trying to work out with the government of India too. But there are a lot of challenges that we're faced with. And then again, also, the divide is going to become even further. Today, our friends from the Vaiphei community, they are demanding the ST status. I do not say it is a wrong demand. I think they as a people, they have every legitimate right to demand what they feel, what they desire, and what they want to ask for. They have every right. But however, I will only say that the Vaiphei people are a developed people. They are a 2,000-year-old civilization. They have come up high above our tribal people. If we look at the civilization that has come amongst our people, it is hardly 100 years. And so 100 years and 2,000 years, there is no comparison though. So it is only up to the government of India who has to actually analyze and see whether or not it is legitimate. It is for them to decide. We cannot stop them from demanding. We will only say that even if they are given, they should not overstep. They should not take away our rights. That is what we as tribals we should stand for. We need to be united in our stand. We need to be united to protect our own rights. Unless you and I know our rights, sometimes it is very difficult. Unknowingly, it is snatched away and we do not know what will happen. Yeah, today, of course, I am thankful to the government of Manipur, led by Honorable Chief Minister Sri N. Biren Singh. Our state is going through a host of changes. A host of development needs to be made, and our CM has taken leadership. Especially I'm talking about trying to do away with poppy cultivation. I think poppy is attractive in some ways. Those of you who are, I do not know, all of you are leaders, you may not be involved, but those of you who get their hands on poppy, I think there is so much of money, there's lots and lots of money, and it's so attractive. And once they get into it, they do not want to get out of that. However, the damages that is causing to our population, especially our young people, it's so great. The damages can never be, rolled back. It is so difficult. And therefore, when the government goes out, we were earlier depending on Myanmar or Thailand or elsewhere, or maybe in Northwest India, to be getting poppy or heroin number 4, we call them. But today, it is being grown in our own hills, in our own land, in our own gardens. It is very, very sad. And many people, without knowing the ills of it, were involved in it only because we have monetary concerns. We want to become rich. We need to survive. We need to look after our own selves and trying to build up better lives. However, the damages that is causing will have eternal consequences. And so, dear friends, I want to say, let us cooperate with the government of India, with the leadership that is being provided in our own state by Honorable CM, so that we do away with the cultivation of poppy. Let us become a healthy society, a society that radiates out love and peace from within our own people. If we do that, I'm sure we will continue to enjoy more and more of whatever is ahead of us. The challenges, the things that are ahead of us are plentiful. The tribals have so much to learn, so much of challenges to meet, so much of, obstacles to cross. Unless we are united, it will be impossible. Unity be primary in our agendas. And I want to tell you that as an MP, the paper that memorandum that you have given me, Truly, yes, it is a colored copy. I will treasure it. I will definitely look into it. Yeah, I've been just trying to look around, and I think and a society like yours, a tribe like yours, values so much to me. And many of you have come out against all other odds to support me even during the past election. And our own leader, Geluntang, he has passed away also. So I have very dear and fond memories of him, and I value the leadership that are being provided today by Mr. Beng Lian and Mr. Sompi, both of them from your own community. They are the leaders of the Naga People's Front. Now, when I say Naga People's Front, I don't know in your dialect, what do you call that, Nagas? What's that? I think there is a term. Anyway, Naga People's Front, Nagas have been thought to be very different. The Meiteis think that we are trying to break the integrity of Manipur, and the Kukis think that we are the traditional enemies, or I don't know what. Maybe we have our own leaders at a generation, at a certain period of time, we may have fought. During the head hunting days, we may have fought. Our ancestors would definitely have hunted one another's head, definitely. But today, we should hunt for hearts. I think we should hunt for hearts. And I wish that if any of you would like to come and take my heart, please take it. I give you my heart. I wish to take your heart back with me too. I want to be close to you. I want to be dear to you. I will have very fond memories taken away from here. The Awllen festival, I think, as it has been already mentioned to us, it is a post-harvest festival. It is the happy times. You go into the brighter days, you call times when you actually relax and try to plan for the future. I think Awllen, it is good that we rest. It is good that we rest. But during this period of rest, let us also focus on the things that are ahead of us. Let us plan well, so that when you set out to start working, you will not fail. You will not stumble again. You will look at the past, and see wherever you have failed. Let us commit them to God. As we sit, rest, and plan, we will focus on the future. We have a future. Above all, let us remain, particularly the YVA. I would like to challenge you to come close to God. Set your hearts right with God. If the Bible says that if I remain in you and you in me, you will bear much fruit. I'm sure YMA has got so much of ambition, so many things that you want to do. You want to bear much fruit, but you will be able to bear much fruit only when Christ remains in you and we continue consciously remaining in Him. Then we will become great people. God bless the Vaiphei youth. God bless the Vaiphei people. God bless all of us here. Have a very happy Awllen. Happy Chibai. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
may I take the permission from our own chief guest to kindly have a few words in my local dialect for our better communication, sir. Kipa goma nikat nipat kong cawai ka tutin tin kadoy gon le tu khagen thim pu e dai thimin la tinun ahunin la e nota tuni huna jigo program kisin na pan munten lakpit te hun na pau chaknai nei pe i pastor doyum pu bilala reverend bilala chule culture dance present pe tangul Vaiphei chule hallelujah chorus sakpe tang thai sinot kwerte chule dunia jago program kun ine the na iwa khet mil the ngai lo ding pe la pe is pu Vaiphei chung ba thuna ho chen zala ke jigo hung tungai program long silimo ki pa uma chule tuni huna mipi ingai na mama EMDC te ex president te coachum pate chule azahum inama himpi te VPC te mel in auma zehin i program hi asunum chuma ma sina thom hauna bi hila vote of thanks gen dingi ka kithalopa asi chu kawoyo de sao de ka gen noma e loi pa chu vote of thanks gen khathe tan chu achu hopte dinga pelhunta ti he na khatui jekin mi ki pa ta tu gen them ki le pel dinai ta jin ki pa la ka ki pa tu gen son son hi team kileng le ana ki pak sa re je kun team me sa din hi uti kileng na len ta kaneya je ka chon tuni in le igen kim lo wat ta kin ai lo le yet mil kha om le tuni hin on le mang i na sala ki ngai thi ma ki team ding le ki chila chule tu ki chai chai le scan session ki pan dingai na to ki tonin palai di gen josi kha ye zen da to mai je ka to ngai ka fel chat ta to ding le vote of thanks here lama chin na le kon bole chani ki pa ke wai ve nam so de
ki pa go first session chok ti chanin chai hita jon aki gen golen second session hin hungsom pai pai ti ka hi second assembly na pang ti khan lukse taka ngai ven le den dingin iba ki chil ki tu ahi
Second session, Assembly Speaker Upang H. Siyama, condolence service committee meeting. Secretary report D. Lamka, Secretary Vaiphei General Headquarters, Block report, Vaiphei Zone Headquarters Farm, Pfoze, Isan, Hawi, Lamka, Lorho, Kanamvaiphei, Hon'ble, Block report committee.
Thank you so much to our chief guest, Dr. Lorho, for having us here as Awllen Festival 2023. We look forward to you to as an MP in the next election also. And from the line, from the Young Vaiphei Association, we wish you all the very best for the upcoming election too.